many people do you have to hire to get this to fucking go?
6, I guess. One more person how to do it.
Yeah, hopefully. You know what? Life on the front line requires you to step up your game.
Shut up.
Fuck you. It's also owned and operated by a former Navy SEAL, Sean Matson.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Cardimax?
Cardimax has designed just the right supplements for you and is offering American Party an exclusive offer. Buy one, get one free on your first order. Go to cardimax.com and use promo code AMERICAN. That's cardimax.com, helping you achieve your
climax.
Dan, I gotta tell you, you all missed it. You all missed it.
Who's the you all in that statement? I didn't miss shit.
Well, we should be live right now. We're 2 minutes behind. We got, I better turn that volume off. Hold on. Shh.
What am I hearing?
We should be live right now.
Trying to turn it off.
Wow. You talked all that shit about the incompetence of our
So
production
anyway.
team. And you're like a rookie calling into a fucking a radio show that doesn't know to turn his own radio down.
I'm going to fuck you up. So anyways, I've been sitting here screaming for the last 5 minutes to get this fucking party started.
That's because you're autistic and don't know how to communicate properly. It has nothing to do with me. You were just shrieking.
Okay. Anyways. So just want y'all to know, y'all have still been waiting for another 10 minutes if it hadn't have been for me screaming, literally screaming at the table right now. Let's fucking go.
Wow, you're a real hero.
Well, you're welcome for my service.
Super proud of you.
Today's a big day. It's a big day, Dan.
Is it your birthday?
No. I dropped my daughter off at kindergarten this morning.
Oh, wow. Your birthday is June 26th.
How the fuck do you know that?
I just looked it up on the internet. Brittany's is June 24th.
Yeah, coincidence? I think not.
Well, there's only 365 options, so there's a 1 out of 365 chance you'd have the same fucking birthday. Actually, there's a mathematical problem called the birthday problem, which says that if 23 people are in a room, I think there's a 75% chance 2 of them have the same birthday. And if when you get to like 90 people, it's a 100% chance or something like that, or 99% chance. I don't remember. Look it up.
Hey,
or maybe it's 50.
They don't. Hey, they don't listen to you. You understand me, Dan?
They clearly don't.
They don't fucking listen to you.
Anyways, first day of school for the oldest kid.
Yeah.
Did you cry?
I did.
Did you really? That's fucking stupid. Why would you cry?
Yeah, as I walked back to I had to like hold my breath as I left when I dropped her off in her room, and I walked back, and as I was going to my truck, like just tears. Yeah.
Well, that's gay.
Why?
Crying is pointless. Keep the water in your body where it belongs. Wait, is that Ron Swanson? Keep those tears in your body and your eyes where they belong?
Man.
It's okay to cry when you watch Bridge on the River Kwai or see the Grand Canyon, I think, or Old Yeller. Well, can somebody look up Ron Swanson for me?
What do you want?
Nothing. Never mind. I need you to anticipate my needs. That's
Hey,
what I
you
want.
got Caleb on here? Caleb B says, I was going to skip back to the beginning, but I remember they just BS for the first 20 minutes.
It's only been fucking 1 minute.
Fuck me.
Jackass.
I was trying to update you on what's going on in my life, Caleb.
Back to the birthday problem. It only takes 23 people in a room to achieve 50% chance that they have a similar birthday.
Right, and then how many, at what point, I think at like 50 people or 55 or something, it becomes almost 100% chance. It's weird.
I just want to show you guys.
No. A group of 70 has a 99.9% chance of a shared birthday.
Bro, hold the fuck on. I just seen this. Stop the fucking mail. Why did these losers get a fucking camera now like they need to be on the show?
Well, Giorgio just got his hair did, so maybe that has. And Bob is expecting a child. His wife
Are you
is.
kidding me? Like, when did they become part of the show?
Delco's got Crohn's. I don't know. Everybody's got their thing, man.
Look at this.
I just bring the cameras in, Dakota.
And look at this. Look at this. What is this?
We control.
What is this?
We are the captains now.
What is this? Dude, this is the most messed up shit.
Giorgio, I got to be honest right now. You look like a fucking golden retriever that's had its head out the window for the whole car ride.
Giorgio, you definitely have a face for radio.
That's some platinum hair right now. So Giorgio has got a real special surprise for you guys come Halloween. It's going to be nice. I don't want to spoil it too much.
So anyways, last topic we'll talk about real quick before we get started.
Oh, wait. Danny says you look like a character from Naruto. That's pretty good. That's accurate.
Well, nobody... Yeah, Danny's pretty much my BFF.
She should be working right now.
She should be working right now. Like, I don't know how she has time to compare Giorgio to people, but whatever. I just want to show you guys, and you'll see on our Friday show, I unboxed this. But talking about puzzles... I just got a brand new 1,000-piece puzzle sent to me. And there was a very intimate moment that me and Dan had. You'll see on the show Friday. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give it away too much, but Giorgio, did y'all keep it? Oh, yeah, here it is. I just want to say this, show you all, just to give a little teaser. There was a moment with this, Giorgio, where am I at right here? There we go. There's a moment with this. So I guess the question is that you guys got to answer is, did he say yes?
Well, he doesn't have the ring on.
Way to spoil it, Delco. That's why they've got a camera on him, because of quippy zingers like that, ruining the fucking show. He's trying to promote Friday's show, and you're an asshole and just ruined it.
Well, I would say that he's probably not the only one that's a significant other of people in this room that don't wear their ring when their man's not around.
What? We're all dudes.
Dude, I know. You don't get it?
No, that one slipped past me.
Well.
So I'm going to have to...
That slipped past all of us.
I'm going to have to mulligan that one.
I mean, I'm sure that, like, you know, I mean, wives sometimes take their rings off, too, when their husband's not around. That's what I would do if I was a wife.
I wouldn't wear one in the first place.
Why?
Because it's huge and it gets caught. Look at that thing.
Hey,
like if you're
you see,
a woman,
I just brought this out. Hey, you see, maybe he did say yes because he just said he wouldn't wear one anyways.
Well, if I was a woman, it would be. I guess women get used to wearing rings though. I don't even wear watches. I just wear this thing. I don't wear watches because I always bang my fucking wrists and hands on shit.
Yeah, well, I always bang you. Same shit.
Fair enough.
Well, so today's show, I bet you guys can't guess what it's going to be about. It's probably the headline of everything. It's the definitely a huge kick in the balls. I mean, you talk about this is not bipartisan. This is making even my friends that are on the left, far left, are this is a what the fuck moment.
Yeah.
For both sides. Like, have you seen anything in the news about Black Lives Matter right now or anybody? You know what I mean? Like, this is taking over everything. This is a big fucking moment.
Yeah, it is.
20 years invested of us. This right here, I think this is like the moment at the Wizard of Oz when they find that little guy behind
the curtain.
The curtain, right? I think this is what happened. Like we've been running on these hearts and minds, these campaigns of we're doing we're doing this for the Afghan people, we're doing this for national security and all this shit. And I think finally, like, just this exit, this fucking atrocious exit, has got people like, all of it was a lie.
Yeah.
Every fucking bit of it was a lie.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, at this point, I would be more comfortable with them just saying, hey, we did it for money. Yeah. Because at least that shows some level of competence.
Yeah. Like,
because what we're seeing right now is that they just completely fucking fucked this up. They were just like, hey, man, let's get out. The Irish exited a war.
I mean,
you can't do that. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Dude, this is fucked. And it sucks, man. Like, you know, my interpreter, so I brought him and his family here 5-6 years ago, right? And his family, and here's what's fucked up even more. And this is what I haven't heard anybody talk about this. When did Biden? He said we were pulling out on the 11th of September.
Right.
So my Afghan interpreter says, hey, I know the world's going to go to shit, So guess what I should do if we want to go see our family? We should go get there and see our family before they pull out.
Right.
His family went. They went in May. They were supposed to be leaving. They had tickets returning home in August before the September 11th pullout. All the flights were canceled on him. Now his family, his wife and 2 kids, are stuck in Afghanistan. They are American citizens. It's like there's so many fucking things wrong with this.
Yeah, we fucked it up badly. I mean, the Biden administration is saying now that they felt like, they are astonished that any of this happened, right?
Yeah.
But, yesterday a lot of stuff leaked from the Pentagon where generals were telling them this is exactly what was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, of course it was going to happen. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have pulled out even when they said they were, but there's no plan. Like this could have been handled a lot better. I mean, even with a month's notice, the intelligence community and special operations community could have gotten their people into the SIV process, right? The special immigrant visa. Because right now what we're seeing is the 82nd Airborne has gone to Afghanistan to seize and control an airfield. That is our specialty. That's like the thing in war that we're best at.
What, fucking it up?
Fucking shit up, yeah. But that is a contingency. That's not a plan, right? They didn't plan to do that. Of course not. Why? If they had planned to do it, they would have had them there already. They wouldn't have had to deploy the DRF-1.
Yeah. And
people have been texting me nonstop, trying to help their friends get out of the country the last couple of days. The State Department and the administration are telling them to register for special immigrant visas online and try to make their way to one of the airports. I mean, we've seen the footage from the airports.
You ain't getting an airport.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the footage from them. There are people behind barricades. The Taliban set up checkpoints all over the place. They put their perimeters around most evacuation and extraction points.
And this is even a better thing. Like, look, we don't know all the intel behind the scenes, right? Like, we're not even going to pretend. But let me ask you this. When is the Taliban's fighting season?
What's that?
When is the Taliban's fighting season?
What do you mean now?
It's now.
Are you asking rhetorically?
But I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's
now. When does it stop?
Ramadan.
Yeah, winter.
Right. Yeah.
Winter time. So when do you think it would be the right time to pull out of Afghanistan?
We didn't learn anything from the Tet Offensive, I guess. Although that kind of worked to their advantage by attacking on their own holy day. But the Muslims wouldn't do that. They wouldn't. They're not. I mean, it's hard to fight, right? All the Taliban dudes have been hiding up in the mountains for a while, right? Once it snows up there, you just kind of hang out there until the snow starts to melt. Yep. Typically, right? That's why people keep asking me if we've been there. And this is a good question, by the way. We've been there for 20 goddamn years. How are there still 400,000 people?
In 2003, in Iraq, there was actually something called the Ramadan Offensive.
Yeah,
pretty much
right. Yep.
Same thing as the Tet Offensive.
Yep. It was pretty small, though, right, compared to the Tet Offensive. It wasn't like a nationwide thing. People keep asking me about that. And I don't know the answer. I mean, Afghanistan is about the same size as California, I guess, population-wise, about 38 million people. So imagine that we had been occupying California for the last 20 years, and there were still 400,000 soldiers. Where were they this whole time? Why didn't we kill them?
I mean, they've been sitting there. Yeah. I mean, those numbers aren't accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of these dudes are just fucking farmers.
Yeah, they're just farmers that say, "Hey, I'm fucking in."
Yeah.
But the other thing I want to say is you really think that we're going to put this democracy in there? Like, this is a statistic that's crazy that we think that they're ever going to have a centralized government.
It's fucking stupid.
They have 40 million people in their country. Do you know how many participated in the last election? 2,000.
I mean, that kind of sounds a lot like our first couple of elections, too, though, to be honest. How many people voted in the first presidential election? I think it was like 80,000. Or maybe the winner got 80,000 votes when we were a country of like 8 million people, something like that. U.S. population in Bump, bump, bump. 2.5 million people. There you go. Yeah, that's weird. So back to that SIV thing. So these dudes are being...
No, 2 million. I think it's 2 million. Sorry.
The popular vote was
2 million.
39. Yeah, 39,000.
In Afghanistan?
No. In the
The
first U.S. election
Yeah.
for George Washington, was it 1789 or some shit?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a whole different ballgame.
Is it? Because
How many people were in America then?
2.5 million.
Yeah. So I mean, we're talking
It's-
40 million.
Yeah, it's definitely different. I'm just saying participation early on, and for the same reason, right? Women weren't allowed to vote. Black people weren't allowed to vote back then. It was only white landowners that could vote. And now we're here with these assholes, and they're pulling the same. Here, the problem with the problem with these Muslim countries, these Middle Eastern countries that are going back towards autocracies, is that they're still living in the fucking 7th century. And it's 2021, man. I genuinely feel like if you're still someone who believes that government should be able to brutalize women and children, gay people, ethnic and religious minorities, and et cetera, by practice, and you think that's an okay way of governing, and you take part in that government, then you got to die.
Well, I think that
We should kill anybody that calls themselves a member of the Taliban should be executed on sight.
well, I think here's what's kind of crazy. Todd, I corrected it. I said 2 million. Here's what I think's crazy is you're about to find out who really gives a fuck about women's rights, who really gives a fuck about humanity, about people. I mean, you talk about like all this, like you're about to find out, do they really give, like, do Americans really care? Here's going to be the difference in Vietnam versus here is the government's not going to be able to control what images are shown because everybody has a fucking platform to show it. And you're not going to be able to hide from these women getting drugged down the fucking street and getting beaten anymore. You're not going to, I think we're going to go back. I don't think we'll go back at a full offensive, but I think we're going to fucking go back. I think Biden's strategy, here's what's going to happen. Biden gets to blame Trump that he pulled out. And I think he's going to try to be the hero of, at some point, having to send guys back in there.
That would be a huge mistake on his part.
Well,
But he makes a lot of mistakes, so I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know about all that. I just know
do you want to make a bet?
that we could talk about that in a sec, yeah. We knew this drawdown date was coming, and any rational or sane person knew that this is exactly what would happen, this power vacuum. I mean, we've talked about it on this show. I've talked about it on Drinking Bros a number of times. With even a month's notice, the intel and special operations communities could have gotten their people into that SIV system that the fucking State Department is sending them towards now. They could have gotten them pre-positioned near evacuation and extraction points ahead of time. Biden is trying to convince everybody that he was taken by surprise, but only a fool could have possibly believed anything other than this would have happened, right? And I think Sagar and Yeti said it best the other day. He said the real story here is that the Pentagon and every U.S. commander since 2012 has lied to the American people about the capability of the Afghan forces. Every single one of them. And now what we're going to see is what you're talking about. Videos and images of women and children being murdered, young boys being raped, which is part of their culture that we were ordered to ignore for 20 years. That's just how it is, and we might go back over there.
We're going back.
There's some chance. To be honest, I don't see why we haven't dropped a fucking nuclear warhead on Kabul, since all the Taliban leadership is there.
All these people in the chat. Of course, Biden was surprised. He doesn't know what day of the fucking week it is. He's probably surprised just to wake up in the fucking.
When I say Biden, I mean the administration.
Dude, they're not surprised.
There's no way.
There's no way they're fucking surprised.
Yeah. So today's show, we're going to talk about the return of the Taliban. It's funny. CNN ran an article I think it was on Tuesday or on Monday, and it was like, who are the Taliban and where did they come from? How they come from so quickly? Like, are you fucking? It just happened 20 years ago. Goddamn, dude.
Yeah.
Most of you guys were still working at CNN back then. Like, how do you fucking not know who the goddamn Taliban is, motherfucker?
Who's the Taliban?
Like, you knew who the Taliban was when Trump brought him over to fucking negotiate with him, right?
My
you were
buddy,
lighting his ass up for that shit.
my buddy had a conversation with some teachers last night. These are teachers in Chicago. He's on a school board, and he was talking about how he's like, you know, the same thing I just said. Like, it's not going to be good whenever they're filming, you know, them beating women and dragging them out and you know, raping them. And he said he called me this morning. He's like, dude, you'll never believe this. They looked at me and go, well, why would the Taliban do that? And he's like, Sharia law, they're Muslims, and they're like, they're Muslims. Like, these people don't even fucking know about Afghanistan. The Taliban. Like, these people are fucking evil.
Yeah, they're the worst people on earth. I mean, it's like if you took the Iranian leadership right now, or the lesser moderate folks in the Saudi royal family, and took away any kind of responsibility for anything because they're not officially associated with the government.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like we can have sanctions against the Taliban. No, you've got to kill these fucking people.
Yeah.
I'm all about, we talked about it here a lot when it comes to philosophy and even personal behavior, about giving people the opportunity to make amends for dumb shit they've done or whatever, right? Everybody's right before they're wrong, and that process of going from wrong to right is really important. But if it's 2021 now, if you still think it's okay to subjugate women,
Yeah.
to murder them should they not agree with you, to rape young boys as a part of your culture, then your culture doesn't deserve to exist. So it is time for the wholesale slaughter of anybody who is or is associated with the fucking Taliban. Fuck these people. They do not deserve to breathe the air that the rest of us breathe. So,
And the effects aren't just in Afghanistan.
no. Pakistan's fucked.
China just vowed
Oh, yeah.
to crush any U.S. troops on Taiwan by force. It's just a fucking rolling effect. China's now going to start fucking with us. North Korea will pop back up. Fucking Russia. I mean, all this is a show of weakness of how fucked we are.
Yeah. You can't, you say what you want to about Trump and his mean bullshit, whatever complaints people had about him. That was one of them, I guess. People didn't fuck around too much when he was around. You know what I mean?
Nope. Nobody fucked around because he'd kill you. And here's what's crazy is I bet you, like, you know, China's going to start. Because, I mean, if we pulled out of Afghanistan the way we did and didn't give a fuck, I mean, why wouldn't China try to fucking get us to pull out of Taiwan?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, China's smart to keep us close, because if America goes back to Monroe Doctrine, they're gonna have to go south, right? So everybody likes to talk about the Monroe Doctrine as if it was completely isolationist, but really we were just a North American hegemon.
Yeah.
And if they want to play that game, let's play that game. But Chile and Argentina have way more rare earth minerals than Afghanistan. I mean, way more. It's not even close. I think Afghanistan's like 6 or something like that. Chile and America is fucking 5th. So, you know, they're kind of fucked right now. China is. I think they've pigeonholed themselves. They're fucking us in the short term with this stuff, with not providing rare earth minerals and stuff. But they're fucking themselves in the long term here.
Yeah,
it's a
for
bad
sure.
move. But yeah, they're gonna definitely try to work with the Taliban. There's no question about that, and not just the.
I think they already have been.
Well, probably, but not just that stuff. Not just the minerals there, but also putting the pipeline from, you know, Russia to mainland Europe. That's why the Russians were in Afghanistan in the first place back in the 70s, was to get that pipeline done. Now it's going to get done.
Yeah.
Right? This is how it is. It's going to get done now. I don't know what that means. I mean, oil's still important, still make plastics with it, but Europe's going pretty green with their cars, so I don't know what that's going to look like. I guess we'll see. Anyways, the Taliban. So in early May, the Taliban began a military offensive to take over Afghanistan after the withdrawal of most U.S. troops. So by the end of May, the Taliban had captured 15 districts and killed 405 Afghan National Special Forces troops and 260 civilians. June, the Taliban captured 69 additional districts and gained control of the cities of Kunduz and Puli Kumri. I don't know where they are. Later that month, the Taliban also captured the main border crossing with Tajikistan and Saadabad district, which is known as the gateway to the capital of Kabul. So or the capital city of Kabul. So a month and a half ago or so, the Taliban seizes the main entry-exit point from Kabul, right? The capital, where the leader of Afghanistan is, where, you know, an evacuation point is going to be. And we didn't anticipate this happening.
Yeah.
I mean, either our generals and our intelligence community are completely fucking stupid, or Joe Biden and Jen Psaki are lying. Both of those things cannot be true. Now, there could be a combination of them. The generals might be fucked up and they might be lying.
Well, you know Jen Psaki's not going to lie. You know?
Yeah.
You know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
They knew.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we knew.
We've talked about it for years now, what was going to happen when the eventual pullout was.
I just didn't think they were going to pull out like this.
I mean, even with a graduated pullout, there was going to be some level of power vacuum for sure, but certainly not like this. I mean, this is not what you want.
I mean, I never thought this was going to be.
All right, so along the way, this is in June still, the Taliban acquired 700 trucks and 800 Humvees from Afghan security forces, as well as dozens of armored vehicles, Scan Eagle drones, and artillery systems. They've just been wiping our... This is like the American Revolution. This is how we won the American Revolution, by taking down British outposts and stealing their gear and shit. Mm-hmm. Good Lord. On June 22nd, the Taliban captured 13 additional districts. God damn. Within a 24-hour period on the 25th of the same month. NBC News reported that the Taliban was surprised at their speed of advance and had avoided capturing some targets so as not to run afoul of the U.S. So they knew that if they hit certain spots, we would do something, so we avoided those spots. And we think that putting out press releases about our intentions are a good idea.
Yeah.
Very smart guys. We're on it, dude.
We're on it.
In the last 2 months, or the first 2 months of the offensive, the Taliban captured 108 districts, only 10 of which the Afghan army was able to retake afterwards. By the end of June, all Resolute Support Mission member countries had completely withdrawn their troops, except for the UK, Turkey, and US.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
July. In July, the Taliban captured 64 additional districts and entered Kandahar and Herat, the second and third largest cities in Afghanistan. Early in July, 1,500 Afghan soldiers deserted their post and fled into Tajikistan. Now, I will tell you this. I talked to some leadership over there, and the soldiers were ready to fight, but their leadership told them not to fight. Mm-hmm. The leadership told them not to fight.
The leadership of the Afghan army?
Of the Afghan National Army. An additional 300 troops crossed the border into Iran. On July 8th, a video was posted on TikTok in which Afghan soldiers executed a villager for allegedly assisting the Taliban. In the video, the man is beaten by fellow villagers before being forced to sit on an explosive device, which was then detonated. Damn. Hell yeah.
That's pretty brutal. Jesus. Who would even do that? Sit on this bomb. Boom. Spokesperson for the Afghan Ministry of Defense has denied the incident ever took place, despite video evidence. On July 10th, the Taliban captured Punjabi district in Kandahar province, as well as the border crossings of Turgundi in Turkmenistan and Islam Kala with Iran. So Now they control into the two of the major areas in Afghanistan. The Taliban now controls, at this point, this is mid-June, they control 148 of the 421 districts in Afghanistan, and excuse me, and two of the major throughways in and out of the country, right, where people would flee should they need to. Like if, let's say, not necessarily Iran, but certainly Turkmenistan, if there were U.S. special operators trying to extract somebody, that would be a place they might go.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least use that pathway to get to somewhere. But anyways.
I'll tell you where I would go.
Where's that?
Dude, I'd go home and get in my ghost bed.
If you could fight, I would go back to war if I could sleep in a ghost. If they ship me a ghost bed over there, probably do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course. So go check it out. Ghost Bed's still running their special 40% off on bundles. They're also, listen, y'all know Ghost Bed. Ghost Bed's been supporting those that support us way before it was COVID cool. They got the cooling technology. They got the cooling pillowcases. Just a really badass company. 20-year warranty, 0% down, 36 months pay-as-you-go financing if your credit. If you got good enough credit, which, if not, they still have. It's affordable. Just a badass piece of gear, as they say. And me and Dan sleep on a ghost bed, usually the same one, a lot of nights. And the cooling technology keeps us from getting real hot when we're back to back. And so make sure to go check them out at ghostbed.com/drinkingbros. And how many nights can you sleep in it to test it out?
100. You can go 101 nights in that bitch.
101 nights.
36 months pay as you go.
Yeah.
It usually comes out if you do the deals, the bundle deal, even with the mattress or even with the pillows and the sheets, it's like $35 to $38 a month, something like that. Mm-hmm. That's typical. Yeah.
But go check them out again at ghostbed.com/drinkingbros.
It is the best.
You're the best.
Yeah.
Back to where you were, Dan.
Wait, what's today?
Today is Wednesday.
The 18th?
Yep.
Oh, we've got a couple more on here. We got Cardimax, immune booster.
Ooh,
I've been drinking the shit out of that lately.
Man, that's as a doctor, I recommend Cardimax immune booster to keep you from getting COVID.
Well, we're gonna get canceled. Not the ad, the show for you making false medical claims.
I'm a doctor.
No, you're not.
Call me doctor.
But there was a study that came out of Wales today. This stuff is so fucking pedantic and stupid. Like, hey, fucking, the likelihood of dying of COVID if you're obese and under 65 is way higher. Like, no shit, you stupid fuck. You're saying a respiratory disease affects people that are fat? The fuck out of here. So, you can't control everything. You can control your diet. You can control how you supplement your diet. And I would recommend Cardimax immune booster to make sure that you got all the shite in your body that you need to make sure that immunity is up, man. I mean, we're coming into that season. Fall's when all this shit starts falling off trees and allergies, and then the high peak viral season comes up. You want that immunity to be strong. So you heard it at the beginning of the show. Sean Matson, Cardimax Immune Booster. Go to cardimax.com. Use the promo code American. You get 30% off your next 4 orders. That's it, man. Use that shit. Next up, we got stamps.com. Click on the microphone at the top. You guys use Stamps for your apparel. We use it for ours. And I think if you're a small business and you're not using these guys,
you're dumb.
You're wasting your fucking time.
Like
you really are.
Dumb.
Well, yeah, it's fine too. I mean, wasting your time is a dumb thing to do. People started businesses from their homes at a higher rate over the last calendar year than at any point in American history. I mean, obviously, we're built for that now. All the infrastructure exists. And this is a big part of that infrastructure. Mail and ship anytime, anywhere, right now, just from your computer. You can send letters, ship packages, and you pay way less because they bundle your services with a bunch of other people, so you get shipping rates based on that entire volume instead of just the volume that you're doing.
Yeah.
It saves you thousands of hours and tons of money every year. It brings the same U.S. Postal and UPS shipping services right to your computer. Stop wasting your time. Go into the post office. And who the fuck wants to go? It's a government building, so you know what that's going to mean for the next however long this asshole's in office. Go to stamps.com instead. There's no risk. With our promo code American, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. You can stop whenever you want. Just go to stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage, and type in American. That's stamps.com, promo code American. Never go to the post office again. I think that's good advice for anybody. Fuck the post office. What are these people talking about? Ask Dakota what he has. Are you talking about... She already knows about Dakota trying to propose to me. You don't have to worry about that. And everybody knows it's weird.
To catch Brittany up, the ring.
Before you die, you see the ring? Is that what you're talking about? Is that copyright infringement to say that? Sorry, Dakota was taking a nap. Anyways, July 12th, they controlled 148 of the 421 districts, just under half. On July 24th, the Afghan government imposed a curfew between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. in all but 3 provinces in an attempt to reduce the movement and advances of the Taliban. Like, if you can't secure the city, what do you think putting a curfew is going to do?
Well, they'll listen to that.
Yeah,
it's kind of like whenever people do these shootings. Like if you put another gun law in, dude, they would have saved it.
If you put a sign out in front of your building and it says "No guns allowed," I promise you that is like a trick from Harry Potter. You have to do the spell though, right? What's the magic spell? How does it go?
Which spell?
The spell to keep guns. Like if you put the no gun sign on the front of your building, you still have to do the follow-up spell to make it work, right? Right? Because a piece of paper it's not going to stop anything, goddammit.
Yeah.
This is fucking stupid.
No.
Expelliarmus is the disarm spell.
Expelliarmus. That's true.
No, for sure. If you write it down and say it's a law, a rule.
Yeah, people give a shit about that.
People do. Hey, Brittany, yes, I am already ordained, and I will. Here's what I want to say. Do you think we could start doing weddings here on Wednesdays before the show?
We'll do them at the new studio that's over close to our fucking place. Yeah. Whenever it opens, we'll do weddings there. There's an event center there.
30 minutes.
30-minute weddings? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, 30 minutes before the show. So at 11:30s on Wednesdays, I will start performing weddings for anybody for free.
Yeah, that's cool. Not really what we're talking about here, but whatever. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we continue the fucking show, dickhole? Yeah, but that would be pretty fun, actually. We'll be able to do it. We have an event space in that new spot. Like a whole other 3,000 square foot building that's kind of just open. So we'll dress it up like an Elvis wedding theater. Or do you want to do it in the studio?
No, I'm going to wear my Maui outfit.
What the fuck does that mean?
I'll send you a picture tonight.
I'm out. I'm done. No pictures at night, okay? In fact, don't text me after 5 p.m.
Fuck you.
No, that's it. I go to sleep. I go to, I'm getting old, man. I go to Perkins Family Restaurant, and then I go to sleep by 5 p.m. every day. I try to, anyways. Why are people talking about shaving my beard? You're going to get fucked.
Yeah, because your face.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that shit.
Okay, go on. Keep going on with the show. You can call me Dr. Root fucking now.
All right, nurse. On July 28th, the delegation from the Taliban met with Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, which is a hilarious name, who pledged the People's Republic of China's support for the Taliban on the condition that they cut ties with the East Turkestan Islamic movement. Interesting. Wang Yi said they promised to, quote, bring the Taliban back into the political mainstream. I mean, they were never in the political mainstream. Nobody knew they existed until Osama bin Laden fucking organized that shit, and then we just annihilated them for a while. Anyways, by the end of July, the Taliban had invaded the capitals of both Helmand and Herat provinces. Herat. Taliban militants also took control of the road between Herat International Airport and Herat City, although the government remained in control of the airport itself. That's the problem. this is how you know that it isn't just the incompetence of the Biden administration, it is also our military commanders. Controlling an airport doesn't mean shit if you don't control the road to the airport. Controlling an area of the country doesn't mean shit if you're cut off from your fucking supply line, brother. That's how that works. That's another way that the fucking U.S. won the Revolutionary War, because they were able to interrupt the fucking ground supply lines of the British, and the French Navy was able to do that by having a blockade, right? That's how we fucking won. Literally our own revolution, and the generals who actually have to go to school to study military history are like, I don't know what's happening, man. What a fucking imbecile. Jesus Christ, these people fucking suck. I don't want to hear anything good about any general officer in the United States military for a while. I think we need about a 6-month moratorium on that before I hear Milley talking about how he wants people to be more inclusive. Taliban government's going to be inclusive, isn't it? While they're dragging fucking people out of their homes and murdering them, you stupid cunts. All right, I'm calm. Between August 1st and 2nd, the Afghan army fought the Taliban on the outskirts of Lashkargah, Lashkargah. What is this?
Lashkargah.
On August 3rd, Taliban fighters captured the Lashkargah radio station and began broadcasting their, quote, voice of Sharia programming. I didn't realize they had their own media network. Fuck out of here. Also on August 3rd, the Taliban's Martyrdom Battalion carried out bombings and shootings in Kabul aimed at killing Defense Minister Bismillah Khan Mohammadi, who survived the attack. During an attack on Kabul on August 6th, the head of the government media and information center was killed by Taliban. Look, as you're hearing all this stuff, remember that all of these things we've said up until this point happened before any of this shit.
Any of this shit you're seeing on the news.
All of this stuff that we've talked about so far, the seizure of about half of the country, right? Bombings and shootings in the capital city, so on and so forth. All of this shit has happened before. So I know you're seeing it and hearing it right now from the perspective of knowing what happened.
But bro, hold on. Trump signed an agreement with the Taliban for peace. Mm-hmm. I mean, dude, none of this could have been happening after they signed the document.
Yeah.
They agreed to peace.
Yeah, like, hey, come on, man. Let's take them to court.
Yeah, why didn't we think of that?
We should have sued the Taliban.
We should be suing them.
Are you fucking kidding me? We could have been suing.
You're fucking kidding me. Do you want to start the lawsuit? Let's do it. How do we start the lawsuit?
Well, the families of the victims of 9/11 sued the Saudi government.
Did they get money?
I don't know how that ended, actually. I think it's still in court.
I bet they don't get paid anything.
You think?
Let's sue the Taliban. I'm going to sue them for... I got it. I'm going to sue them for mental... for what is it? Emotional?
Yeah.
What do they call it? What do they call it? Oh, I'm glad we got
emotional trauma suffering. Yeah, they're all back there fucking looking at dicks on their phones right now.
Yeah, they'll probably turn the fucking camera on them so they can answer, but they can't answer a fucking question.
I have a answer on the 9/11 lawsuit. That's what you're.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It actually apparently took a major step forward about a month ago. Saudi officials were deposed, but those are still sealed, I guess, for...
Oh, of course.
But that was apparently a major step forward.
They're sealed because we've been doing dirty dealings with the Saudi government for decades now.
Yeah. Anyways,
and if any of these people in the royal family start getting exposed for their terrorist ties, people in American politics are going to have to explain why they took money from them, why they sent money back through them to get to Palestine, so on and so forth.
And why are we training them right now?
It's going to be very embarrassing.
Why do we have Marines that are training them right now?
Why are we still training a military force in a country like Saudi Arabia where 81 to 83% of all the primary education schools are madrasas?
Nobody wants to talk about that.
Like we spent 20 years in Afghanistan, and everybody wants to talk about the drawdown and the pullout. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that we were ordered to look away from children being raped for 20 years. Nobody wants to talk about the Special Forces officer who basically lost his career because he beat the Christ out of one of these dudes. Nobody wants to talk about the fact that we've been funneling money into Saudi Arabia for going on 100 years now.
What about the Taliban having U.S. biometric database?
Yeah, that's great. They get the bat hide system. What are the chances that they have them out at these checkpoints now, right? Running people who come through the checkpoints through this system to see if they've worked with the American government before.
For sure.
Fucking idiots, man. Oh, my buddy Michael Marler is in the room here. He says that I should eat a tasty dick.
Oh,
I'll probably have to look into that.
he wouldn't have had to pay $15 for that because you do it for a lot less.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would definitely do it for less. Especially his. Yeah, this is... we should have seen this coming, right? We've been... All the conservatives in America like to talk about how they don't like moral relativism, right? Mm-hmm. But at least conservative politicians who set up most of these deals with these oil companies, with OPEC, the fucking security deals with Saudi Arabia, et cetera. They're the ones that set all these deals up, right? You're telling me you don't want to engage in moral relativism, but you're okay with working with a partner who rapes little boys and says it's part of their culture, or where 80% of their schools are madrasas where they teach death to America Wahhabist bullshit.
Yeah.
Right? We've done ourselves very few favors over the past, I don't know, what year is this? Since the 1950s. We haven't done very well at anything, really, foreign policy-wise. Been a long couple of years.
Where are you at on this? This is fucking hilarious. Where are you at?
For the tip. Who's at?
Where are you at on here, Aussie? The Herat?
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I'm here. So...
this gets so good.
It is. This is so...
This is so Afghanistan.
I know. I just want to remind everybody, all of this stuff happened before the last week where you've been watching everything unfold in Afghanistan. So August 3rd, the Martyr Battalion does a bunch of attacks in Kabul. During an attack on Kabul on August 6th, 3 days later, the head of government media and information center was killed by Taliban fighters. A Taliban spokesperson took responsibility for the assassination. The Taliban spokesperson, by the way, still has a Twitter account.
Yeah.
But
President
doesn't because he's mean. Took responsibility for the assassination, warned that they would continue to target senior administration officials in retaliation for increasing airstrikes. On the same day as the attacks in Kabul, the Taliban captured the provincial capital of Nimroz province, making it their first provincial capital to be captured by the Taliban since the beginning of the war.
So I want to say this.
The beginning of the war, like 20 years ago.
So the Afghans always had this saying, you can rent us, but you can't buy us.
Yeah.
Now, eyewitnesses state that the city fell with almost no resistance. And an Afghan journalist named Bilal Sarwari claimed that someone had sold the city to the Taliban. Social media posts also suggest that the Taliban was welcomed into the city by some residents, which has a history of lawlessness. So this is almost like that CNN reporter who said, "Oh, it's mostly peaceful." Do you think
she's catching a lot of heat? I think,
but
unnecessarily. One, she's incredibly brave to be there in the fucking first place. Maybe a little stupid, right?
Like, but
maybe a little naive. But what she was trying to say was that these people are chanting death to America, but they're like being polite to me. And then she said, "It's like fucking bizarre. I don't understand what's happening here."
Yeah, but she said it's also mostly peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy that.
But I'm sure she was saying what they allowed her to say, because she was outnumbered.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
They were certainly allowing her to
she's
talk.
not going to be like, oh yeah, they're fucking everyone up, beating women and children. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't America. You can't go talk shit right in the street in front of them and be protected. Like, they would cut her fucking head off. You imagine how scared her camera guy was?
Yeah. I mean, he's just thinking, all right, how quickly can I grow a beard and put a robe and a fucking cap on before they realize?
How quickly can I take my bed sheet and make my pajamas?
Yeah. That's because fuck that.
After capturing the capital, the Taliban militants opened the local prisons, releasing many of the inmates. The Taliban captured Sherburgan on August 7th, making it the second provincial capital to fall during the offensive. USB-52 bombers, along with Reaper drones and AC-130 gunships, carried out airstrikes against Taliban positions around Kandahar, Herat, and the Lashkar Gah. During this time, the American embassy in Kabul began to urge all Americans to leave the country due to the increased security concerns and the inability of the embassy to guarantee the safety of American citizens. On August 8th, mass desertions were reported from the ANA as the Taliban captured the cities of Kunduz and Saripol.
Today is the 18th, by the way.
So 10 days ago.
So this was probably 2 or 3 days before all this other shit.
Yeah.
Before it really hit the American media.
The following day, the Taliban captured a city, Abak, the provincial capital of the Samagan province. I don't know where it's at. According to the deputy governor of the city, government focus withdrew from the city without a fight after community representatives requested the city be spared more violence. Yeah, so basically it's saying, hey, we don't want to fight for our city. Also on August 9th.
Well, I mean, you say it like that way because your baseline is that they should fight against the Taliban. I don't think everybody feels that way there. What's the difference? If you're it's not like women are making any choices over there, even with us there. Let's be fucking real about that. I mean, if we're ignoring children being raped, little boys being raped, are we really ignoring the fact that they exclude women from government and daily household fucking decisions? I mean, come on, man. Obviously, we're not. So
no, but I mean, don't bitch to us about fucking the Taliban taking over if you're not going to fight them. Like if you want it to, then fuck off, right?
I mean, the people that wanted to are either dead or trying to get out of the country at this point, I think, right?
Well, exactly. So, also on August 9th, Asif Azimi, a former senator and prominent warlord, defected to the Taliban along with hundreds of men under his command. We're not surprised. On August 10th, 2 additional provincial. Thanks, guys. Capitals fell under the control of the Taliban. At least they had fighting.
Yeah.
By August 11th, the Taliban had taken control of Faizabad.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, and insurgents captured Kunduz Airport and Kunduz Airport and major military base containing stockpiles of ammunition, weapons, and equipment.
So now what we know, on August 10th, what we know is they control major inroads to the capital, to the airport.
Yep.
And into both major border crossing areas. They have taken over half of the country, and they have a full set of armory now. And we thought we could just remove everybody all at once and that nothing was going to happen. That's their fucking story. With all of this information, remember, all of this stuff has happened already before Biden decided to make this move. And let's be real. I hate how much I've had to say the word Biden in this show today because, yes, he's been in government for 50 years. Yes, he voted for this shit. He voted for Iraq both times. He's a menace. This guy's a menace. He's a piece of shit. But he's not a bigger piece of shit than fucking George W. Bush, frankly. He's the one that started all this shit. And to see Karl Rove on Fox News yesterday trying to scold people, like his first fucking couple of minutes were just defending having sent people, all these mass troops there and kept them there this whole time in the first place. And then Liz Cheney, of all people, is going to fucking talk shit about anything to do with any war in our lifetime. Yeah. Fuck you. Jesus Christ, these people are out of their goddamn minds, man. That's what happens with aristocracy, though. It's just people lose. It's fundamentalism. There's no irony. They don't understand how fucking stupid they're being. God damn it, man. Anyways, all that happened before any of you heard about what was happening in Afghanistan. But the government knew. Yep. The president knew. It's in the PDB for sure.
For sure.
So the following day, this is the 12th now, the city of Ghazni fell, making it the 10th provincial capital to fall within a week. The governor of Ghazni province was later arrested for surrendering the city in return for safe passage. He was arrested by the government. Man. And then the president fled. Fled the country. So there's 34, I was looking that up, there's 34 provinces in Afghanistan. 10 of them fell within a week. 10 of them fell within a week, and we didn't think that the Taliban was making a move.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's rhetorical. I'm asking it that way because that's Biden's story. We didn't know what was going to happen, man. We knew they'd take over, just not this quickly. They had taken 10 of the fucking capital cities, motherfucker, within the last 7 days.
Yeah.
They had taken 10 of 34 in the last 7 days. And your story, he's lying. That is a lie. Or he's a mental defective and needs to invoke the 25th Amendment and resign from office. Or be removed.
He won't do that.
The same day, Shindand Air Base in Herat fell under insurgent control, allowing the Taliban to capture 2 UH-60 Black Hawks stationed there. I don't know how well they might be able to fly those, but later that night, Herat was finally overrun and taken by insurgents. The following morning, a number of government officials, along with thousands of government forces, just surrendered to the Taliban. Overnight, Kandahar was captured. And look, government forces surrendering to the Taliban is, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, kind of like surrendering to the Night King. You become the Taliban.
Yeah.
Or you die, right? So every new city they take, their army gets bigger.
Yeah, it's not like they're going to follow the Geneva Convention.
And they're not like letting people go home and shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you fought against us for 20 years. See ya, buddy. The following morning, I'm sorry, here we go. Yeah, the following morning, a number of government officials, along with thousands, surrendered. Overnight, Kandahar was captured by the Taliban, leading to the withdrawal of the Afghan National Army and increasing the number of provincial capitals under insurgent control to 13. That's 13 out of 38. On August 13th, this is when we started hearing shit on the news. On August 13th, the Taliban captured 5 additional provincial capitals, 2 of which fell without any resistance at all. Right, so that's 18 out of 38. They're almost at half the country.
Yep.
The following day, the Taliban took control of 7 more provincial capitals, and the ANA fell into chaos following its rapid defeat across the country. Early on August 15th, the Taliban entered Jalalabad unopposed, making it the 26th provincial capital to fall. That's 26 out of 38. The fall of Jalalabad left Kabul as the last major city under the control of the Afghan government. It's kind of like an iceberg, right? We see the tip at the top, and it's really, or like a boat maybe. It's just the most, like, what is it, like 60 or 80% of a boat is underwater, some shit like that. Does anybody know?
They don't know. Don't ask them.
Don't fucking squint your eyes and look at me. Look it up on the 9 computers in front of you, you assholes. God, I'm going to stab somebody today, I swear to God.
Well, watch, I bet they turn the fucking camera on them like they're doing something.
Yeah, look, oh, we're back here tapping really good, man.
90%.
90% of a boat?
Oh, the iceberg.
Of an iceberg, yeah.
And you don't have a knife, Dan. You have a gun.
I can get a knife, bitch. And I can stab you with anything.
True.
Dan, just ask me. So 40% is underwater.
90% of an iceberg, though. So when you're looking at all these, when everybody started, not everybody, some people had been following this situation, but the vast majority of Americans who had just started following this on the 12th or 13th, right around there, they're seeing this tip of the iceberg like, oh my God, how could all this have happened? Whatever, right? And even with that benefit of the doubt, they're still lighting Biden up. This is the first time I've seen a bipartisan fucking version of lighting up a single fucking person in a while. Since before Trump, for sure. So even with the benefit of that doubt of how could this have happened, people are still lighting them up. I'm here to tell you that this shit took 3 months to build up, and it was as obvious to anybody paying attention as anything could be. So as mad as you are at Biden right now, it should be about 3-4 times that much.
Oh,
Not just mad at what he did, but mad at the fucking incompetence.
And
the
it's still
hubris.
lying about it. Like, he fucking knew.
Of course he
They're
fucking
all
knew.
dog shit.
People are assholes. So now the final phase, the fall of Kabul. Despite issuing statements saying it has no plans to take Kabul by force, the Taliban entered the outskirts of the city from multiple directions. Chinook helicopters began landing at the American Embassy to carry out evacuations, and diplomats shredded classified documents stored within. On August 15th, which was Sunday, the Afghan Interior Ministry announced that President Ghani had decided to relinquish power and an interim government led by the Taliban would be formed. After handing power over the country to the Taliban, President Ghani fled to Tajikistan. Later that day, Afghan forces surrendered Bagram airfield to the Taliban, which housed around 5,000 Taliban and ISIS prisoners. So plussing up that fucking that roster one more time, right? So now a bunch of ISIS dudes are out.
Yep.
On August 16th, a Taliban spokesman announced during an interview with Al Jazeera that the war in Afghanistan was over and that the Taliban had achieved its goal. Yeah, they won.
Yeah, they're right here showing videos now of the Taliban special forces.
Yeah.
I think Biden could be fucked, though. You got Democrats demanding an investigation into Biden's clear policy execution and intelligence failures. Democrats.
Yeah, that's weird. That's what I was saying before. It's very bizarre now to see a united front against a partisan political issue because nobody is particularly happy right now with anything that's happening. It's a problem that people like Abdul Ghani, Baradar, I think you say his name, was in, I believe he was in Gitmo for a while for his relationship to the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah, I guess he said he was he had nothing to do with it.
He was a shopkeeper.
Yeah, shopkeeper.
Has to get back and help his family. He was the person in 2001 that negotiated the surrender of the Taliban with Hamid Karzai. And then this motherfucker was traded for, what's that dude's name?
Bo.
Bergdahl. Yeah. Yeah. So now he's back in control over there. We traded a fucking E4 who walked off his post for the guy that's now the president of Afghanistan.
This is Andrew Friedman working for the Taliban,
Who's Andrew Friedman?
the Dodgers GM.
Oh, why? Yeah, is he bad at trades or what?
No, he's great at trade. He's working for the Taliban, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's a good trade. That's a better trade than
Hey,
what?
here's what else I love. The Taliban uses, so when they talk about free speech in Afghanistan, they're using an example that Facebook censors.
Oh yeah.
People
Yeah, they lit Facebook up. I mean, whoever the Taliban's PR team is, they're pretty good, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think they hired the people that used to do. Wait, who was the Slim Jim? Remember that dude died though. The guy that ran Slim Jim's Instagram, he was fucking hilarious. R.I.P. But yeah, they're lighting up everybody, and it's funny because it's true.
It's so true.
Like, how fucked up do you have to be that the Taliban can fucking bang your drums, man? That's not good.
That's fucked.
You know what I mean?
I mean, look, all this stuff's fucked up.
Like an organization,
but they're not wrong.
An organization that is organized literally around a document that was written in the 7th century has outperformed you morally.
Yeah.
Or at least made you their moral equivalent.
Yeah, moral.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. But there are, you guys should start looking into this now because you're going to hear these names coming up over the next couple of months. There are a couple of people in Afghanistan who are fighting back. And it's going to be interesting. The Panjshir Valley is going to be the new spot for an uprising there, like an anti-Taliban uprising. Ahmad Massoud is going to be the person leading that.
He's like...
it's going to be what people are calling the Mujahideen resistance to the Taliban, right? Mm-hmm. National Resistance Front is the name of the organization. He was a Mujahideen commander back in the day, and involved with the Northern Alliance, stuff like that. I mean, this is just history repeating itself. These old Mujahideen fighters who were community leaders had fought against the Russians for years. We came in and helped them, and then we kind of abandoned them like we're doing now, right, in the 1980s.
It's the American way.
Yep. And the Taliban came in and fucking took over and started fucking people up and everything, and these Northern Alliance guys stood up, and now it's just happening again. All we did was punt 20 years. Just punted a little bit. And now these people have to suffer more and more because we couldn't get the fucking job done. It's embarrassing.
Do you want to go join them?
No.
The Northern Alliance or the?
No. Not until they have some kind of fucking plan, dude.
Yeah, we definitely until have a retirement plan.
Until at least a plurality of that country cares about women and children and shit. I don't give a fuck what happens. To be honest,
they don't. I mean, look, they don't want a centralized government. We knew that since when we were there.
Yeah. You can't, it's funny, George Bush used to say, you can't force freedom on somebody, they just want it. Like, no, they don't.
No.
Some people, like Iraq, for example, want to be subjugated. They don't understand not being subjugated.
Yeah.
It's something that Japan went through, and that's the reason Japan fought so hard in World War II, because they felt like the institution of Nippon was their god, right? Like they worshipped whatever the fuck, but Japan was their god. That's how they felt. And in this case, they feel like it's not about the specific tenets of Islam. It's about culture. That culture is their god. That's what they pray to. And you aren't defeating that. As a matter of fact, it's like a Chinese finger trap. The harder you fight it, the fucking harder it fights back. It doesn't make any sense. You cannot win with a stick.
Americans are starting to think government is God.
Yeah, and that is always the fucking fall of an empire, believe me. But you can't fight that with a stick. You can only fight it with a carrot. You have to incentivize good behavior there somehow. And if you can't figure it out, I guess I'll see you in hell.
See you in hell.